Good morning, folks. It's 10:42 a.m. on the second day, third month, 2023. A very bad numerology day. Not good, not good at all. I'm looking at some terrible totals approaching the far north of Queensland and the continuing inundation of the Northern Territory. In other words, SNAFU. Situation normal, all fucked up. That's what that stands for. And some very big tendrils are scheduled to be dropped upon the far north of Queensland. So you'll be preparing your arcs now. Some of these are fairly imminent as this storm system crosses the state line as it tendrilizes. And they're all calling on it. And I've been tracking the moisture on Mimic for days. Just not able to do the broadcast how I want. And it looks like one of the areas of targeting is this road here at 66. Yeah, so these creeks are going to run high, so it's a great care needs to be given. Some terriblenesses are going on out in Western Australia and Darwin and this and that. It's just what's going on is just horrendous. Is the rivers that a chem falls on and causes storm one place might run somewhere else, and they all seem to be running towards Mount Isa and towards this corridor here where things intersect. I said towards. As you look at some of the totals common for this area as the tendrils move, well, the whammo of it all is not too good. Not good at all. And that's going to come sudden. Right? From a nothing to a something on a 5 is always bad. And when you see tendrils like this, these ain't the exact predicted pass. It's telling you a huge amount of moisture is being directed from the tropics up here down towards you all at once. This is geoengineering at its finest, or at its worst, depending upon how you want to look at that. And the beams to move a lot of that down's been going on continuously through these islands to work them over. And now some of the tendrils coming up over Papua. And where it meets, it meets. And some of the places, even on the coast up here, from Port Douglas through Cairns and on down, we're going to have to watch where these tendrils actually impact. So in the coming days, we're going to nail down these numbers. But all I know right now is time to get your arcs ready along the coastal areas of here as well. You have some action coming. When you see tendrils like this with unbelievable totals, they're never going to be 100% sure. And this is the inundation of the north. This is bad. So consider that your first ups. New Zealand, you're not out of the woods. Your South Island's looking like it's about to have an event. Right from the nothings to the somethings in these mountains along this coast, which always puts Nelson and Richmond in my eyeballs of wondering what's going to happen with their flow. Because this is a lot of water. This is a terribleness. That's about to occur again to this beautiful country. Right? I'm worried when I see stuff like this, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on this. Will you see some snows? It was possible because that blast of stuff that went over South America that's due to come out over Antarctica underneath at Tassie and all that is bringing some packets of cold and snow. It had to happen. I've been watching that tendril. But even on the tens, are you showing something on the mountains? Is it an eminent thing? Is this eminent? 3 days, nothings, somethings. So no, it's not eminent, and that can change. But boy, will that make a nice cold flow to help feed down into the waters of the Tasman Sea to work up. The last New Zealand property to see any action here coming up is going to be your an island way out here. Oh, it's now offline. I was looking at it earlier. It's a beautiful little island, actually. It had a cool picture down here during daylight. The lake, you know. But this will be the last piece of New Zealand to cap the storm that's about to come out of the tropics there. A little love heart. I wouldn't want to be down there when this comes over. I'll tell you that. You know anybody over here? Tell them watch out. Something wicked their way comes. In a bad way. This tendril's riding north of this island. Will the island emit an X-ray beam and defend itself? Only time will tell. Looking at these totals, they're guiding it. Yeah, the last piece of New Zealand to influence the weather is Sunday Island. Will you? I would like to go to Sunday Island and have an ice cream sundae. There we go. New bucket list. Sillinesses. So, right, I'm not going to do a webcam thing. I'm hoping this streams enough to give you guys a general forecast. So, without further ado, let's look a little closer now at some of what can be expected lightning wise. And I'll do the boom, 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 boom. It's all on my head. I've already got it loaded up here. So, the thunderstorm nation of the Canberra Nation of Australia continues along the Tennant Creek to Mount Isa Agenda 2030, wanting of a smart highway corridor. Yeah, they want something. It's right, Chris. You know, that big boomers hopping up all across you. Great care will be needed. Over the next 36 hours, you got 24 hours to prepare for that action there, and they planned on this. And if they told you, hey, you're going to have some boomers, and those, judging by that, they're going to drop hail and such. That's a very radically dangerous storms. Yeah, they're so radical, man. And as we get into the inundation of the Queensland begins here right about here. As she crosses the line, the dynamics, and the bombs get trapped. The whole shit show starts. But will that quench the fires? Will it come down low enough, quick enough? Same bad time, same bad channel. Always the Joker on the news. I'm loving seeing some warnings coming out early. It would be nice to see them describe the weather accurately and call in chem bombs what they are. And so without further ado, we'll have a look here from Conolingus to the can. Dan, 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 boom, boom, plum, 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 plum. Tendrils from the angel of death creeping over if that was green. Oh, Moses, Moses. We a bunch of ho Moses going down. Boom! Big old cloud, and then we got a spinner, folks. There was some cyclone seasonings drip. The Kembam of it all. Oh my. Saw this the burst of the cyclone, the high cyclonic is going in here now. It's coming in on this side. It's going to spare a bit of the islands, which is nice, but this big bomb here is not helping the totals of the rain over there today. And they're seeing some terrible, terrible totals. Gee, you always get we put a caption on this? What's that, like a nose and a face? Planet of the Apes. Like a mushroom cloud, isn't it, the way that looks? What would cause nuclear winter? People that make those bombs getting in charge of the weather. That's what do. Look at the chem bomb right here. Boom. Fizzing this way, that way, that way. Feeding the storm. Feeding the storm. Feeding the seasonings. Cyclone seasonings. Wabbit season. Duck season. Geoengineer season. The funnel. The bombs. Bombs. What a fucking shame. Beautiful islands here getting scrubbed because of a wanting of a funding of a program that is not going to do very good for all these beautiful animals. How many birds are going to get displaced? And when these forests are wrecking back and forth, smacking them in the head, how many penguins on the south shores of New Zealand and the fjordlands will be dashed upon the rocks while too many people sitting there rocking chairs? What a fucking shame. Look at this down the low deck, this pattern. That's chem bombs, right? Influencing the weather. I'm jumping back in 10-minute jumps. Yeah, I'm going over here now. The vag. Look at that shit. Look at, oh my God, look at all the sickness mix that you got going here. Look at all the payloads in your sky. The fertilizer mixer. Pumping out God only knows what. Undisclosed programs do undisclosed things that go unseen by people's eyes that do not see. Not seeing. Nazi skies. Look up. See the truth. Don't believe everything on the news that told you for years something was safe that turns out it wasn't and it's killed people. And what are they going to blame it on? Smoke from a rail car? And you're going to believe that a volcano thousands of miles away gave you a sulfur gas sunset? And just switch to a bit of your day-night. I picked up a little detail here I'm not happy with. These are chemtrails in a very high top over here outside of this Brisbane thing. Look at this shit off your coast. Harvey Bay where the whales are all blowholing it up and dancing in the skies. And then what do they think when they see chemtrails? Do they know there's a difference ever? Has the pod noticed? Only they can tell. I don't like this screen. Let's go back where we were. Oh, that was a bad choice. Oh, that was a bad choice. That's okay. Shit happens. So we can get it back. A lot of this should load pretty quick. Boom! You're boiling, man. Now, somebody pointed out, they said they seen something off the coast of Darwin, a bomb wave. So, I want to have a look. So I'm going to roll it fast. See if I see a pattern. Which one? Probably this one here. Look at the shack wave coming out, the percussion ring from this. Just to get it. This the one you're talking about? The shockwave coming out in front? You can see it's got bombs continuing to be let off in it. Boom, boom, boom right there. Boom, boom there. Tendrils. The hook. That going under it. You don't get occluded fronts that often there. Meteorologists out there, they hold these pair degrees. They can't figure out a forecast. That's bombs. See another 3 go off there on that one? Right there. The triple shot. It's not all just plasma. You got to have chemical catalyst for the medium. And it condensates so you can observe the pattern. Bom, 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 bada, bom, bom, bom. If I don't do that at the end, they get me for copyright. Bom, 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 cam, bom, 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 cam, bom, 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 man, stealing our dreams. Pigtail girl, go away. But you can't hide these chem bomb skies, because when the planes flies, they're spreading lines across the skies. I thought by now people realize there ain't no way to hide your fucking lies in the skies by disguising it on the nose. No cloud names after all these years? Get the fuck out of here. You name new things that you patent and do as the big penis cloud goes over here to piss it down. Look at that shit. Hey, Higgins, you got something to draw here as a dick. You could draw a self-portrait. My God, look what they're getting ready to do to Queensland again. Right along this sweat line here is where one of the predicted paths of devastation is predicted to happen nearly exactly. That one. That forecast is nearly exactly portrayed out, and the chemtrails laid in this line. Can all of them be correct? And you have to add them all together. Before your ass is an axis. Iconic things happening on the fives. The continuing inundation of this corridor. They want it. They want a highway, and they want for you not to drive on. For the robots to drive. Yeah, Uniblab wants one. This is bad. They were all saying there's going to be a big tunnel around this creek, and it's a 1/2 meter water. And all of it's going to come through here, and all of it's going to meet here. And what bridge would they want to fuck? On the Barkley Highway. Buckley River. But you better do some deterrence ahead of time. Where do you want the water to go? Will all this race down? Will this be a river itself? You get some high enough places to go, but I'm hearing that some of the cattle never even had high enough pastures to go to when people listen. The amount of water that came, the amount of dust under it also increases the height of things if it settles underneath it. I think New Zealand is now becoming quite aware of that. What if all them sticks on the shore that are dry start rubbing together, friction? And are they going to set that place on fire by accident on natural means? I have a very big concern about all that wood along the shore there in New Zealand. And take it to heart. So we'll send people up to Darwin where the rain's going to continue. Here was a lot of rescuing of communities. Let's hope they get good, safe lodging and can get in touch with their families. What an advert this has been for Starlink. Yeah, Musk got his out of it. Everybody, we got 50 Starlinks working around to help everybody communicate. How about a good warning ahead of time so people could get out and they could be communicating across a breakfast table with their family? What a fucking shame these bureau morons don't give you goddamn accurate forecasts when I can. And I look at all these chem bombs going over Tweed's head. I'm looking at shit off the coast of Byron impact the surfing people, and people out there just wanting to see the stars and the moon, getting it stolen from them. What a fucking shame. What an absolute fucking crying shame. Everybody should be crying out of this. Gets the sight of this by bumping and turning? Come on. That's just engineering. How many sixes do you see in your sky here? Up jumped the double. The number of the beast might very well be the weather machine. You poor folks. New Zealand absolutely came back all the fucking hell. Sorry if it's not clear right now, but I get some people running by the hall. See the square out here? This is not natural. And will this impact New Zealand? Well, fallout goes everywhere. Fallout's everywhere. So I'm going to run now what they say is going to happen, and I'm going to wrap up. Well, I think I already did. Well, here's what they say is going to happen for the far north. And continuing pounding. ECM, I thought more accurate. A lot of lightning being expected from all the chem conditions and counterflows. This is creating a lot of ionic stripping of electrons. It's just loaded. And as this steams over, the center of this Lando cane continues to move along a very predictable path of destruction. Right on to the Mount Isa corridor, where their next rab will then do its bit. And suddenly you see the whammo. So we'll be looking for a beam. Isn't that an unusual there? So Friday, this is going to be an interesting thing to see. A straight line of weather going all the way into tropics is only going to be done by a large EMF beam. I haven't had a look yet today to see what Mimic is showing. So it's going to flash when I turn it on, so watch your eyes. Just going to have a quick look at eyes. I want to see the tropics moving. That's all I really care about is, oh man, is what's been sent down. So we got a beam corridor through here, outflow there and there. I'm just reading it as they're giving me screens. Look at that blast, right from fucking there. Look at this. Right from Hobart. Tell me more about your tiger not doing something, you numbnut lying weather excuse people. It's pointing right fucking at it. Right there. Pointing right at it. When they turn the beam off, all the lines are pointing right fucking at this station. And Lincoln would want to nuke up here. Look at this shit. Look at the beam swat you guys got. Whammo. That was the instigator. That got the atmosphere reverbing. Whammo, latest screens. That's the first screen. There's your timestamps. Right on you. Right on you. Right on you, Hobart Tiger Station. Here's visible evidence. It's not just a glitch from facing the sun from a CMA, because there's too much time on the Earth was rotating for it to always be aimed at it. So stop buying those lies either. I'm getting angry. I just saw a big blast. It ain't good for these fish in these oceans either. Infrasonic undulations. It ain't good for these whales navigating through these passages here. But it's really good for weather manipulation. So we'll be looking for a wild beam to make the straight line there on that day. They know the way to do it. They blasted your asses. Blast, 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 blast. Bzzzt, right to Hobart. Get the fuck out of here with your lies. All these people say they know it all. All I know is that I see that, and it's pointing at that. And when you see the smoke coming out of the end of a barrel, don't take you too long to figure out who took the shot. And with that said and with that done, doing these forecasts is not much fun. And I'm going to continue to roll it with everybody showing. I'm getting upset. I had to describe the death in New Zealand today on his show. Hands poking out of mud, digging up cars and mothers holding babies all trapped in the mud. It looks like they got Pompeii, just like I said would happen. It'd be a mercy for a mudslide to cover those people up, and let's put a fucking monument that says, we will never play God with the weather. Because that's war. And we will always remember war sucks. And we will never wage war on our mother. You may do it on my watch, and it will not go unsaid or unseen. I am not a Nazi. I am not a Nazi. And this is bad. Cold Park is coming up from Antarctica. That looks like my screen's froze, so I've done about all I can with the traffic in the house. See if she's coming on. They should have danced, but that's gone away. That's a beautifulness for New Zealand to see that storm go. Go, 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 go. But here it comes. It's one from the south. And the release and the get in the New Zealand pummeling of the western side. Right? So we'll be watching this very closely. Coming on Wednesday the 8th and towards the 9th. The continuing inundation of the north continues. Right. I'm going to click out now. I know the electric guy just came in and heard his tools. All right, big love, people. Stay safe. Be vigilant. Get your ARKs ready. Right? Be aware. Be ready. And be knowledgeable of your area. Get your local stuff done. Get your insurance papers in order. You guys are about to have another Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Mr. Gates' Wild Ride is going on, and I'm going to jump out the car. I'm pulling the stop handle on the slow motion train wreck. And Gregory, you're in the sights. Mount Isidis Corridor Road is in the sights. And I got my sights on you. And I'm not going to do the can with my leg. And I'm going to do that up the bum in the Isidis system. This shit has got to stop.